All right, welcome everyone. We are here. This is episode 2 in a series of podcasts to keep the citizens of Chico up to date with what the city of Chico is doing. I have with me today Tom van Overbeek from the Chico City Council.
Good afternoon, Brent.
Good afternoon. And we are here today to talk about the police, rebuilding the police department. And so just to start us off, 30,000-foot view, let's just talk about what is the job of the police department?
Well, in simplest terms, it's to keep us safe, keep the citizens safe, and particularly the most vulnerable in the population, the elderly and children. But in a broader sense, it's to ensure the quality of civic life. And so that means that you and I can go about our work and our play, and our children can in a safely, and not have to worry about some bad guy hitting us on the head and taking our wallet.
Yes, right. And so nationwide, we've seen this whole topic of policing has been really in the news a lot, especially in the last few years. So how has the sentiment of policing and what we've done with our police as a local government, how has that been going in the last few years? Kind of talk to us about where it was, what the plans are.
Yeah, well, luckily in Butte County, we've had responsible people in the last few years running things, and so there was no defunding of the police department.
Okay.
That happened in some other places where now they're scrambling to try to get the people back.
Right.
Because crime rates have gone through the roof.
Yep.
So, but what did happen was that there was a sort of an anti-police sentiment. After 9/11. People rushed to join the police department because they, were put up as heroes, and they are.
Yeah.
But the opposite happened after the George Floyd thing, and so policemen are human beings. They have their husbands, their fathers, and if they're being criticized constantly, it's not exactly motivating, and it doesn't encourage young people to want to become police officers.
Yeah, especially when you're risking your life every day.
You go to work.
It's a tough job. And I think part of the honor is to just, applaud people for doing this job.
Yeah. I always make a point whenever I see a police officer to thank them for what they're doing.
Yes, likewise. Okay, so in Chico, what are the plans with the police department? I mean, talk to us a little bit about, I think we had some issues with the police. You're talking about the sentiment towards police. We had some police, that were like leaving the force. I think we had like a staffing issue for a while. Is that right?
A huge staffing issue. So a year ago, we had a presentation by the chief of police, Billy Aldrich, who's just excellent. And he said, look, right now we have 85 people, and based on the number of retirements we have in front of us, we're going to be down to 69 in a year. And at 69, they can't even respond to service calls. So, I mean, that's really
system failure, basically.
Right, and they can't do anything proactive. So the major problem was compensation. We were paying 20% less than some of the neighboring jurisdictions. So we were losing people to places like Reading, Red Bluff. And so we fixed the compensation. And as a result, we've been able to recruit people, not only new people, send new candidates to the school, to the police school, but also get laterals, because transfers, yeah. Because if you've got a bunch of young people, you need a supervisorial staff. You need sergeants and lieutenants that have some time in the job that know what to do.
Right.
So we're getting all of that, and so right now we're at 105, and a year from now we'll be at around 115.
Okay, good. So we're going from, you said, under 70, or what was projected to be.
We were at 85.
85, okay.
Yeah.
And that's a significant increase for a town, the size of Chico.
Now, a lot of people say, gee, isn't that too many? But that's only 1/3 as many as San Francisco per capita. They have 3 police officers per 1,000 population. We have 1 at our current rate. So we are not overstaffed.
It sounds like not at all.
Not at all, no.
Yeah.
And we're able to address some really important things. So the most dangerous thing you can do in Chico is get in a car. So we had 1 murder last year, and we had 11 people die in traffic accidents. We had 300 people injured in car accidents, and that includes cars hitting bikes and pedestrians. So car accidents involving cars, and a little over 400 aggravated assaults. So the biggest single threat to people's safety in Chico is traffic safety.
Wow.
So we're adding. So of those new people that are coming in, we're adding 4 to the traffic department because we only had one guy. A man named Todd Lefkowitz was our only traffic officer.
The motorcycle cop, the soul.
I met him because he gave me a ticket.
Yeah,
which I deserved.
Okay, and I got to say, I've lived here 24 years now, and I noticed when they stopped doing traffic. And I think it seems like with the rise of kind of the homeless issue and all the calls associated with homelessness, it seemed to me, and this is from the outside looking in, this is me not being a part of any kind of conversations, but that they stopped giving out traffic tickets.
Yeah.
And it seemed like they were overwhelmed. And I mean, I got one speeding ticket in the last 10 years or so, just because it seemed like you can kind of do whatever you want.
They had a major reduction in staffing in 2010 because the city had a major budget crisis. Back then, we were on the list of very short list. We were the fifth most likely in California to go bankrupt, municipality to go bankrupt. Right. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, we
had a bunch of people running our local government who had evidently not made it through 4th grade math. So that was fixed, but there were a lot of departments that were really constrained.
Okay, so we're kind of coming out of a little bit of
we passed Measure H in 2022, and what people said is we want cops and roads.
We want so people are asking for traffic police.
They want police. They want more police, and we want better roads. So, but when you look at, if you're in government, you look at a thing like the police or the roads, and you say, where can we apply the money to get the best result for the most people? So in this case, it's clearly traffic, but we're also going to add 2 more people to the target team, who are the people who interface with the homeless. They're going to be on bikes downtown.
Oh, wow.
So they're going to be a lot more present.
Oh, I like that.
And we're also going to have 7-day-a-week coverage in the park with the rangers, which we don't have now.
Okay, yeah. So the Bidwell Park, which is the crown jewel, I think, of Chico, that in downtown, there's no enforcement really through there of police or rangers, and so we're going to it's very limited.
It's very limited.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
The rangers have been used to do enforcements to clear encampments, homeless encampments.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right. Well, good. That sounds awesome. Those are great. I think improvements. So now, I mean, would you say right now, Chico is safe? Would you say it's a safe city? Is it? I mean, where are we at in terms of safety right now?
Yeah. So once you get beyond traffic accidents, we are sort of on the low end of average for total crime rate. We tend to have a lower rate for violent crime. We have a lot of aggravated assaults, but not very many murders for a town our size.
One murder for.
Yeah, the average is 2 over the last 5 or 6 years, 2 a year, and they are typically somebody gets upset and they're manslaughter, secondary murder type situations, not first degree premeditated murder.
Okay.
So they're accidents or bad accidents.
Oh, they're okay.
We have very high incidence of rape, aggravated assault, and arson. Very high.
Very high.
Yeah.
Above normal.
Yeah. So, but in general, our if you take the aggravated assault out of it, rate of aggravated assault, which has a lot to do with the homeless population.
Okay.
We are fairly low in violent crime, but fairly high in property crime, rate of property crime. But we're better. We're doing better than Oroville, than Red Bluff, than Redding, Marysville. So we're a relatively safe city.
One of the things you said that I'm sure people may have been concerned about is rape. That's a big deal. Is that primarily due to like college and the drunkenness? I mean, where is that happening? Yes. Right.
Drunk college kids tend to do stupid things. And,
okay. I thought that you don't know.
Well,
that's terrible no matter what.
High rates of aggravated assault and rape tend to be associated with college towns.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for college towns, were maybe like par for the course?
I haven't
for
seen
safety?
the numbers for College Town specifically. That's a great question. But and that isn't to say that Chico State isn't a great place. It's just whenever you've got a bunch of young kids,
Right. I mean,
you know, young people getting together at that age
Yeah.
and drinking,
Yeah.
you know, things are going to happen.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I understand that. And okay, so good. So outlook next, 5-10 years. I mean, in terms of safety, you feel like we're headed in the right direction. I mean, what are you
Absolutely.
saying?
Yeah. So first of all, we have great leadership at the department. They have very high standards for hiring. I mean, these are really impressive people, and we are addressing the things that are the biggest threats to public safety, which is traffic. I mean, you know, anybody's driven around Chico, seen the red light running, people blowing through crosswalks, all that. So that there's going to be a major. We're a college town. We don't have drunk driving patrol, DUI patrols on the weekends, which is crazy. So now we're going to have two guys in cars, or two police officers doing drunk driving sweeps on the weekends, and then dealing with the homeless situation, the park. So yeah, we're addressing also violence suppression unit, more detectives. So we've got a lot of crimes that they just don't have the bandwidth to investigate.
Okay. So
Yeah.
detective. So if you
Yeah.
have a car stolen, who did it, or whatever, some things like that.
Yeah. So absolutely, I think we're on a great track, and in the city council, you know, did a great job of realizing that we had a problem with compensation, and we were not going to get the police department we needed if we didn't pay competitive wages.
Yeah. Yeah. So we could, as a city, at this point, right? I mean, I think we could be proud of our police department. These guys are doing a great job. I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah. And I think it is good. As a driver, I don't like getting pulled over for, a California stop or something, like that. But I do think it's very, very important to have more traffic enforcement. And I think because sometimes it's those traffic stops that lead to getting really bad guys.
Oh yeah.
And that's the kind of the
Right.
initiation,
Right.
in a way.
Absolutely.
So it helps to create a safer just Chico.
Yep.
Yeah, because I think if you're a major criminal, you break minor laws too, and if you catch them on the
exactly.
minor law, it'll reveal
Right.
kind of maybe sometimes more what you're up to.
So I think we're on a good track. We've got a great department to build around as it grows, and so I'm very optimistic
Okay,
about the future of the police department
excellent.
and the leadership.
Okay, great. Well, everything rises and falls on leadership, and seems like we're headed in the right direction.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Tom. Really appreciate your time today. And next week, we will be talking about housing, specifically affordable housing.
That's right.
Okay. Look
Thanks,
forward to
Brent.
it. All right. Thanks.